What up, guys? Kevin here. Final Fantasy 16, I guess it didn't sell well at all. Yeah, I guess it just didn't. We got news reports that it didn't. It meet expectations. Or meet the high end expectations that they have. So I got to make another video because Final Fantasy 16 did sell well. It sold 3 million. I assume it's got to be closer to 3.5 million by now. On a console, what did they announce? 40 million consoles have sold? Yeah, that's pretty damn good. But I can't talk to Square Enix's expectations, which are always ridiculous. They're always ridiculous and they're never hitting it, right? You think they would eventually hit it and, stay around, but they're staying around without hitting it. I guess Final Fantasy 14 is keeping them quite afloat. But yeah, I'm here to tell you 3 million is great. Their expectations is just not. You took the bag from PlayStation. What did you expect? I think what they probably expected was this game was delayed. I think it was delayed probably a year or so. And I think they were thinking all right, if we push it back to summer 23, this thing is selling 5 million. But it sold 3 million. That's their own problem. Now, something I'm a little bit upset about is now they're going to trim all the little things. Last year, Square Enix had a ridiculously good year. Maybe not sales wise, but in content that they put out. I mean, what do we get? We got Chrono Cross, Field Chronicle. We got Valkyrie Elysium. We got Harvestella. We got Dragon Quest Treasure. We got Various Day Life. Oh, yeah. Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise. Did I say Valkyrie Elysium? Star Ocean. The Divine Force. Triangle Strategy. Up there with my game of the year. Oh yeah. Tactics Ogre. They had such a crazy year. And I think that was the problem with those games is they all launched 1 week after another. I still haven't played most of those games because not only I have other games I want to play, you need to space those things out and give them proper marketing. To me, I thought they were let's just release them all and maybe one or two will hit. And that's all it will take because we didn't spend much money making these games. But now they want to cut that all out. So what are they going to make going forward? So we know they're going to still make Final Fantasy. They're still going to make Dragon Quest. Star Ocean? Now we know we got a remake of Star Ocean, Second Story. So I really hope that gets supported. I already bought my copy, but I hope people turn out for that game and they look at that and go, all right, maybe this is a franchise we can do something with. It's the Divine Force is so good. Go buy it. Go buy that game. Go buy that game. It's so good. Yeah, it's a little derpy here and there in certain areas, but man, I'm just brushing that aside, which isn't much. It's so good. Triangle Strategy. I gotta believe they're gonna do another Triangle Strategy. That game sold really well, and they just put out new content. And then maybe Bravely Default. I don't know if Bravely Default makes the cut. They keep making Bravely Default games, but I have no idea how well they do. I have no idea, but I think they do good enough. Octopath Traveler. I feel like the second one didn't sell. I don't know if it didn't sell, if it sold worse than the first one, but I think being on everything but Xbox, I think they were probably hoping it did a little bit better. But I really hope we get an Octopath Traveler 3. And Octopath Traveler 3, we get a party that interacts with each other. I think that's why I ended up quitting the second one. They still didn't fix it. I'm like, all right, I'm playing just separate stories. And everyone, okay, the characters are interacting a little bit more, but that's a series that can definitely just needs a little bit of a tune up there. And then you can start seeing it sell maybe a few million and not just 1 million. But yeah, Square Enix is just, I don't know what to say about them. They support my channel, so shout out to them. They love giving me the Dragon Quest treasures. Um, but you know, it's to me, it's an easy fix. It's an easy fix. You just got to commit. So for Final Fantasy, what would I do with Final Fantasy? It's just so easy. It's so easy. I would just look at what is the best selling Final Fantasy game of all time, minus 14 if it is. Final Fantasy X. I'm making a Final Fantasy game that's like Final Fantasy X. It's not going to be exactly like it, but it'll be one where people go, if you had to compare it to another Final Fantasy, which one would it be closely related to? It would be 10. I probably would make something turn-based, tropical, an art style that can lend itself well to the Switch 2, because I'm putting that game on Switch, the next Switch console. And a very likable cast with a very likable voice acting and a little bit more lighthearted. As much as I love Final Fantasy 16, which I think is still my game of the year, though, Trails into Reverie. Ooh, ooh, so good. Um, it's even I can objectively say this is not the Final Fantasy that I think people want, but I liked it. Um, Dragon Quest, just make a Dragon Quest game. Just make a proper Dragon Quest game. That news report that they don't know what direction or how to make an adult version of Dragon Quest. I'm like, just get somebody in there that has a really good Dragon Quest script and make that. Like, I get we need to change things up here and there, but you really don't have to with these franchises. If you give a proper Dragon Quest game, first off, if you just make it a Dragon Quest game and not trying to think too far out of bounds, I mean, like 11 is perfect. 11 is a Dragon Quest game. The only issue I have with that game is the damn music. But seeing that they're confused about it, like, I don't know, we don't know what direction or how to make this type of game. Like, just make a Dragon Quest game. Ain't that hard. It ain't that hard. I can punch something up for you guys. Um, it just make it good. That's all. I will never get it. I know there's not enough risks in this industry, but that's where you need the little games, where you get a triangle strategy, where you get a Harvestellas, stuff like that. Final Fantasy could just be a Final Fantasy game. Dragon Quest can just be a Dragon Quest game. You just make it really good. But, alright, well, I'm done here. I'm baffled. I still think Final Fantasy 16 sold well, but maybe it just didn't. I think the legs maybe dropped off. People saying like this game will have legs. I don't know. It's a very, very cinematic story focused game. Who knows? But I think once it comes to like Steam and it goes on sale, here's what Square Enix is going to do. They're going to bring it to PC, but they're going to bring it to Epic Game Store. That will just tell you everything about Square Enix. Like, they just don't know how to do business. I'm not saying you have to put the games on Xbox, but you put the games on Xbox so Xbox guys don't talk shit about your games. We saw their tune change as soon as Final Fantasy 14 got announced for Xbox. Now you got a whole fan base that are like, all right, you're good right now. Right now you're good. Let's see you bring the other games. That does so much. They may not buy the games, but that does so much. But all right, I am definitely done here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you later. Later.